Hey there, Tommaso Ziglia of musictheoryforguitar.com for another music theory build. Now, one of the most boring topics of music theory is intervals. Every time I start to talk about intervals, I see students with glazed eyes watching me, and I know they are not really listening. So, why don't I show you guys today a fun thing you can do with intervals, something that you can apply immediately on your guitar, something that sounds good, something that is not difficult, something that's actually fun to play. And I'm not going to be complete, I'm not going to do all the possible intervals, I'm going to use only one interval. I'm going to use only a perfect fifth. Now, without entering into details on what a perfect fifth is, I'm just showing it to you on a guitar. A perfect fifth is the distance between two notes that when you play the power chord. So for instance, if I'm playing the sixth string at the 5th fret and then the 5th string at the 7th fret, this distance, it's a power chord and it's a perfect fifth. It's the typical sound you get when you play this. Now, how we can use this to make something interesting? We do that. We take a pentatonic scale. You guys know your pentatonic scales. In this case I'm going to take just an A minor pentatonic scale. So I'm just taking this scale here. Nothing really difficult. Now, on top of this pentatonic scale, I'm going to play perfect fifths. What do I mean? Rather than playing this note, this note, this note, this note, etc., etc., I'm going to put a whole power chord on this note, and I'm going to play it this way. So for every note of the pentatonic scale, I'm also playing the note 1/5 higher. The only thing you need to pay attention to is that since the guitar is not tuned in a uniform way, specifically string 2 and 3 are not tuned like all the other strings, when you are on between string 3 and 2, the perfect fifth is not this, it's actually this, so you need to have more distance, 1 fret more distance between your fingers. But as long as you pay attention on this, you can play the whole pentatonic this way. See that here I'm doing standard power chord, here I'm doing this larger power chord, and here I'm coming back to the standard power chord. Now, why this works? This works because, with just one exception, all those notes 1/5 above the note of the pentatonic are still inside the pentatonic. Oh boy, that's a mouthful. So let me show you it in detail. The notes of the A minor pentatonic are A, C, D, E, and G, and then they repeat. The note I obtain by playing a perfect fifth above, when I start from A, I have an E, a perfect fifth above, and the E is in the pentatonic. When I'm on C, the note a perfect fifth above, it's a G, which is in the pentatonic. When I'm on D, the note a perfect fifth above, it's an A, which is in the pentatonic. When I'm on E, the note a perfect fifth above, it's a B. The B is not in the pentatonic, but it works well with the pentatonic notes in most situations, so it works. And when I am on G, the note a perfect fifth above, it's a D, which is in the pentatonic. So with but one exception, we are still playing the pentatonic scale, and the extra note will work well with the pentatonic in most situations. Now, what can you do with that? You take a very simple phrase or lick or line that you play on the pentatonic. If I play this, it's pretty boring. It's pretty boring, it's not a great phrase, but if I play it with the fifths, becomes much more interesting than what it was before. And it doesn't require any thought, because I'm just putting down this shape and I'm just following it up and down, following with my index finger the pentatonic scale. This will work wherever you can play the pentatonic scale. So if you know other position for the pentatonic, this will still work. Now, the very same trick can be used to create some interesting slide licks. This way, you identify where the pentatonic notes, in this case again A, C, D, E and G, are on the second string. And you can find a C, a D, an E, a G, an A, a C, D, E, a G, and an A here. And you choose a few of those. And then you play, you slide between them, and you play the fifth above every now and then. So for instance, I can start from this C, and then that's my skeleton, C, G, A, E, G, D, E. And that's my phrase. So you see, starting from a pretty boring line and just adding this perfect fifth on top, now I can create licks that are a bit more interesting, a bit more unpredictable than what I could do before. Now you could apply the same concept also to other intervals, but the perfect fifth is the easiest one because on the pentatonic scale the perfect fifth will work all the time. Now, you can use other intervals if you want to, rather than using this perfect fifth. But the perfect fifth is the easiest one because it will always work over the pentatonic scale. If you are to use, for instance, thirds, you will have to alternate between major thirds and minor thirds in order to make it diatonic. Diatonic meaning that using the notes of the same scale, so at least staying in A minor if not in A pentatonic. If you use sixth, again you will have to use major and minor sixths. If you use a perfect fourth, it will work most of the time, but on one note you will get on another note. When you are on C, the perfect fourth is going to be an F, and this note not always works with the pentatonic, with the minor pentatonic. So your mileage may vary here. So I suggest you start with the perfect fifth. It's an easy lick, and depending on how much and how far you slide, you can make it really interesting, and you can make it also really fast because it's really easy to play with just a bit of exercise. So it's easy to understand, it's easy to compose with this idea, it's easy to play, it sounds good. I think we have everything here, and there is no actual reason for me to promote this tip further, in a sense. I think at this point you guys should take your guitar and try to play a bit with those fifths over your pentatonic scale. And I hope that I'm getting you at least slightly interested in music theory and in learning your intervals.